event of the day for the 1300cc stock cars. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy. As the cars go over the line for the first time here at Bovingdon, and it's 479 Sean Riddle who takes up the running, but he goes wide, and through on the inside goes Daniel Damon in the number 8 car. Oh, and look at that, into the first corner there. Goodness me, it's a 3-car pile-up with the 479 car, a complete 180 there. But no problems for our leading driver, Daniel Damon. He's now got a clear advantage as the 168 car gets spun and spun back again, and then does the final part of the 180. Sam Holland takes a 360 on the exit to the pits pen there. It's all happening in the early stages of racing here this afternoon. Remember, these cars will be back out for the Hertfordshire Championship as their final race of the afternoon. But for the moment, at least, it's the number 8 car of Daniel Damon who's making the pace. But the others, I think, are beginning to get on terms with him once again now. We've got a retirement by the look of it in the shape of Sam Holland there, who's sitting on that far corner hoping the race is going to be stopped. Let's hope she can get to safety. Backwards would be a good way. Into the centre green, the safety of the rumble strips there for Sam Holland. We do keep a careful eye on that. We will try and keep the race going, and we're looking for instructions from the staff on the centre green now, but hopefully that car will get to the safety of the rumble strips. And here she comes now. That's good news as the car is pulled to safety. Through goes our leading car, the number 8 machine of Daniel Damon, peeling off another lap as we look. But look who's in second place already. It's that great stalwart of 1300 stock car racing, Steve Odell, who's come right through from the back of the pack in the Star Graders there in the 71 car to take it up there in second place and challenge now as he goes wide and then flicks to the inside. Who's it going to be as they go into the Bovingdon turn? The number 8 car holds his position, but it's Steve Odell. Odell comes blasting his way through here on the home straight. Steve Odell then takes up the leadership of the race in the 71 car. 191 follows through from here. Number 8 relegated now to third place, and young Dean Odell now looking for that third place in fourth there. He's got the car lined up for the inside run on the Daniel Damon machine, but not quite able to make it here. But yes, he does so on the entrance to the pits bend there. Dean Odell takes away that third slot, so it's 2 Odells in the top 3. Steve Odell leads the race. Dean Odell is there in third position, and the meat in the sandwich at the moment is Aaron Morris in car 191. That's the maroon, and it's 5 next time. It's the start of 5 next time for your leading car, the 71 car of Steve Odell, who's coming under real pressure now from Aaron Morris, who's gaining on him for sure. The 191 car is gaining on the leading car, 71, and 71 takes them into the far straight with 4.5 laps to go. Dean Odell beginning to drop off from the front 2 now, but there's back markers in the way. They're causing problems for Steve Odell. And Steve Odell almost turned sideways there, and Aaron Morris also having trouble with his back markers as he goes through now on the pits bend. But it's Steve Odell who maintains front running position. 71 your leader, 191 in second place, 171 in third, and behind these it's the I think it's the 46 car who's running in fourth position at the moment. But back to our front-running cars with just a couple of laps to go now. For Steve Odell, it's number 6, I'm told, in fourth position, who pushes that back marker wide there. The number 6 car running well of Simon Welton at the moment. But it's 71 who leads from 191 and 171 in third place. I think this may well be the way these cars are going to finish now, because Steve Odell has really got the bit between his teeth as he comes up to the last lap to go board. It's Steve Odell in 71, Morris in 191, and then Dean O'Dell, the two O'Dell boys running very, very well in this one. Father and son in first and third positions, with Aaron Morris there in second, but the checker flag falls to Dean O'Dell. It's a win for Dean O'Dell in the 71 car. 191 there in second place, Aaron Morris. Third place certainly goes to young Dean O'Dell in 171, and the rest come through. Keep them coming if you will, Mr. We can go red. We can go red now, please, to draw down on the curtain. So there it is, the cars get away. 164, a black cross there, please, Mr. Starrer, if you will, to get this one on the way. Oh, and a bit of contact there between 165 and 191. Not too sure who was to blame for that, but hopefully they'll get themselves sorted out over the opening laps of the race. It's number 40, Lee Martin, who leads the way in the all-blue car, followed by the 160 machine of Daniel Keeping. And a couple of cars come to grief there at the exit to the pits, Ben. We have a red, please, Mr. Starrer. To couple of laps gone, so that will be a complete restart for this one. And the way I can see that Tonino's Delicious Ice Creams has turned up on campus. So if you fancy a very, very nice ice cream there, the very soft and creamy variety, then pop over to Tonino's Delicious Ice Creams, where you will find a very nice selection of ice cream. It's an immediate black cross for 213 this time, please, Mr. Starrer. Black cross for 213. That's a warning to the car that he has been involved in an incident and will be subject to the adjudication of the clerk of the course in the fullness of time. And likewise, Mr. Starrer, please, for 165. So there we are, back at the front though. We have a new leader in the shape of 160, and that's Daniel Keeping, one of our rookie banger drivers here formerly, and now showing very, very well in the rookie rod formula. 160, taking away a very good early lead here in this particular one. 160 then, Daniel Keeping leading from the number 40 car of Lee Martin, who must be surely cursing because of the race stoppage that cost him his lead, perhaps in the earlier stages of the last part of the heat. So 165 in third, 216 looks good in fourth place as he challenges now on the inside for third position on the raceway. But look at this number 17, and a black cross for number 17, getting a bit overly carried away there, but just watch him go. This is stunning stuff from the David Burton machine, and a black cross also for 216, Mr. Starter. So 17 and 216, black crosses to each of those. But look at David Burton as he moves into second position now on the raceway, all the way through from the back of the pack. 7 and 1. And 151, a black cross for him as well, please, Mr. Starter. So through they go once again, and it's still Daniel Keeping leading this one from David Burton in the 17 car, but certainly 17 making big inroads as they go down the far straight. 160, Daniel Keeping leads from David Burton, but it's Burton with the inside run, both Vauxhall Novas, of course, and Daniel Keeping just hitting the rumble strips there, going a bit skew with. Burton takes to the outside, the challenge is on. The black car, 17, trying to overhaul the 160 machine. This is for the leadership of the race as they come up past start control once again. Daniel Keeping holding the inside line, making life very, very difficult for the 17 car of David Burton round the outside, but Burton it is. And a black cross for 165, please, Mr. Starter. As I was saying, Burton it is who takes it up around the outside then. A very, very quick car indeed in the shape of David Burton. This one, the number 17 car that leads at the moment. But remember, this car does have a black cross against it. So 17 leads from 160, then it's car 64, 56, and 166 leads from 164. That's how the top 6 places are at the moment, with a very, very confident looking David Burton out there and in charge of this one. As I say, it will be 5 next time through, please, Mr. Starter, for the 17 car. Here he comes now. 17 then goes through, and a black flag, please, Mr. Starter, for 165. A disqualification for the 165 car. Our clerk of the course has seen rather a lot of contact, I think, from that particular car. So a black cross situation has existed 3 times for the 165 car of Darren Davis, and ultimately that leads to a disqualification. So then this time it will be the 3-lap board held out to our leading driver. Here he comes now. So David Bertie Burton in the 17 car leads them through, and it's still very, very anybody's race for second place. The 160 car at this moment in time leads from 64, and they're all really bunching up behind the 160 car in second place, third, fourth and fifth. But no doubt about our leading car, David Burton. But remember, he does have a black cross against him. He needs to come through the back perhaps just a tad more cleanly. Oh, and 160 gets caught up on the rumble strips. That was a bad mistake there by the 160 driver, Daniel Keeping. And another black cross for 213, please, Mr. Starter. But it's neck and neck for second place as they come up the home straight and go into the pits bend. 166 has that second place at the moment as our winner comes over to take the checker flag. That's David Burton in car 17, but keep them coming, Mr. Starter. 166 it will be who comes over the line in second place. David Matthews then takes that second place from 213 and 64 with 56 and 164 just up behind these. Gentlemen, let's hear it for this young man in the 17 car, David Burton. From the V8 stock cars. Well, then it's action all the way from the V8 stock cars. The number 20 takes it up. That's Darren Saunders, but coming through very, very impressively is Terry Coke in 627. Look at him go. Terry Coke, the local man, of course, from Wokingham, who's spent some time in preparing this beautiful V8 stock car. And 89 comes to grief up there in the top end. That's another Racing Scott, no relation to the Peter Scott family, but that's Brian Scott in car 89 there, who's come to grief on the pit pen, but we'll just keep an eye on him as the rest go racing by. So Terry Coke then in 627 is the guy who's out there high, wide and handsome in this one, and going absolutely like a tank out there in frontal position for this one. 627 then leads from 27. 27 in second place, and Malcolm Burton then, Bertie Burton in second place in the 27 car. Is he going to be able to do anything about the hard charging Terry Coke? Well, Terry Coke looks very, very at home out here on this Bovingdon Raceway, and certainly looks to be making it all his own as some of the other cars make their way through from the tail end. But it's Terry Coke who looks extremely busy to be out there. 627 going like an absolute flash in the pan here, and just clips the Armco. He'll have to watch that as he comes off of the corners, but a beautifully prepared car, wonderfully well painted and going like an absolute tank. Terry Coke then leads this one from the 27 car of Malcolm Burton. Now in third place and gaining on these is the 238 car of former world champion Darren Mitchell, who's also going very, very well indeed. Rumour has it that we may be losing Darren to another formula soon, but let's hope that's not the case. He's always a very, very welcome performer here at Bovingdon Raceway. Fourth on track at the moment, the 72 car of East Anglian Colin Goodswan. He appears to be going well as well, but as Terry Coke begins to get a bit tangled up with some of the traffic, the 27 car of Malcolm Burton now begins to reel him in quite significantly, quite quickly. And it's Burton now who certainly only has a few car lengths between himself and the leading Terry Coke. With the second one of the day for the rookie bangers, and it's 618 little Fred Kinsella who's out there and leading this one. Remember, he was the 529, a black cross, please, Mr. Starter. And through they go again, and 729 it is, who's 723, a black cross for him, please, Mr. Starter. Uncle Fester's got his problems out there in the centre group. 438 as well. Black cross for him, but the rest go racing by, and our current leader comes through now in the shape of the 729 car of Lee Conlon. So it's Conlon who leads now from little Fred Kinsella, but all the challenges on once again now as they go either side of one of the back markers. It's Kinsella and Conlon neck and neck for first and second places there. Little Fred retakes the lead in 618 as a number of cars follow them through, including our start marshal Vince Sharp in the 915 car, who's taking the outside line, a bit dodgy through there, but nevertheless he's keeping pace with some of these slightly faster cars. And it's Fred Kinsella who continues on his leading ways there. Fred Kinsella in the Dad's Army car, the green and yellow machine. But 729 once again attacks. That's our man Conlon. Once again, he's right there, 729. And as they go down the far straight, it's Fred Kinsella, but not by much. 618 leads from 729. 778 Pete Stevens, the Scrutineer is third, and Vinnie Sharp, the start marshal, is there in fourth place. But I think he's got a bit of bodywork rubbing on the on one of the back wheels there, as far as I can see. But and it's a big spin round there for 723 on the entrance to the pits bend. And Howard Swallow is going great guns now. Very, very quick is Howard Swallow in 412. But Vinnie Sharp is chasing Pete Stevens now in that 778 car. and Pete Stevens certainly got the speed legs as he goes up the straight, but Vinny hanging in there. Right, 1-6-1-8, Fred Kinsella is coming up against a few back markers now, but it's still Kinsella that leads, and Basil Williams is 34. He's got his work cut out, keeping this very, very fast car on track, it seems. And Howard Swallow pushes Vinny Sharp aside there, and Baz Williams follows through in the 34 car and does himself, as he tries to take Vinny Sharp out, he does himself with a very, very heavily smoking rear wheel there, and gets clobbered himself as he goes into the Bovingdon turn. And it's Kevin Payne also laying it. And a black flag for 135, Mr. Starter. That's a flat tyre he's racing on there. And Uncle Fester's going backwards. Fred Kinsella's right in there. And Pete Stevens now very, very close to these other two. As Fred Kinsella gets a bit tied up with the back marker, it's still Kinsella leading. With the 729 car is there in second, Lee Conlon. And 778, Pete Stevens is dishing it out with these two in third place. 5 next time through, Mr. Starter, for 729, 778 and 618. And it's 729 who takes the quick way through there on the turn, and 618 gets tangled up with the Armco, and 778 gets his nose momentarily in front, and they all go, oh, look at Fred Kinsella going to the barrier there. That was Pete Richardson, and the 529 car is gone as well. So 729 then emerges as the leader now. Lee Conlon leads this one from 778, Pete Stevens in the blue. It's the car coming through now with 4 laps to go, 729. Lee Conlon, there he goes, and a black flag for 618, please, is coming round now. The green and yellow car got badly damaged suspension on the tail end there, and that's and a change on lead, I'm told, as Pete Stevens takes it up now from Pete Stevens, 778 takes it up, but he's under attack from James Kingsbury, who wants to have a part of this race but isn't going to have a part of this race. So 778 leads from 729. Then after these, it's 915. Our own start marshal Vinny Sharp is right there in 915, the blue and red machine. But he's continuing on his way, and Howard Swallow is right up behind Vinny Sharp now. Howard Swallow already had one attempt to put Vinny Sharp in the barriers this time, and I think he's catching up again now. 787 is a retirement there, and Howard Swallow is now on Vinny Sharp for third place. And a black flag for 778. And 729 now has retaken the lead. And 915 currently racing with 412 as we go through, but it's 729 now with just half a lap to go from 412. 729 your leader coming through this time with an attack from a back marker, but it's 729 who takes the checker flag. Lee Conlon wins. 412, Howard Swallow in second place. Our start marshal here at Bovingdon, usually Vinny Sharp, is in third position in the Volkswagen Golf, the 915 car. The rest, keep them coming if you can, Mr. Starter. Bit of a lethal race for 1 or 2 cars, that one, but nevertheless, we will go red. We will go red now, please, to draw down the curtain on what's been an excellent... So with a bit of a racing start there, the cars get underway, and there's plenty of casualties in the Armco as they come up here past start control. Oh, goodness me, that was a heavy one for the tail end of young Aaron Morris there. Is Aaron okay? I don't think Aaron looks too happy in the centre green there. We'll go to reds. Go to reds, please, Mr. Starter. And certainly there was a roll of the head from a very, very heavy contact there on Aaron Morris's car when his car would. So problems as well for young. So then, there we go, it's green flags all the way, and straight into an early lead goes Nicky Jarvis, indeed, in the way he did last time, but Jamie Morris is right there with him this time in the black and silver car. But, oh, look at them going into that Bovingdon turn, and Cecil is certainly a casualty almost of the cars there. That it's a miracle they all got through that Bovingdon turn, the speed they went into it. But it's 498 who leads the way, and Steve Odell has made terrific progress in car 71. He's looking to have this Hertfordshire Championship all sewn up by the halfway stages of the race. I'm sure there's other drivers out there got very, very different ideas to Steve. But it's Steve Odell now in second place, chasing down the Nicky Jarvis car, 498. And look at Jamie Morris get stuck in there in that 167 car. But the car comes back for more, James comes back for more. The number 6 car currently hangs on to third position, and it's James Morris now who emerges fourth. Oh, goodness me, some very, very heavy action there going in courtesy of Sam Holland in the number 10 car. And she certainly put out a number of cars, including the 121 machine of Luke Morphy, as he went along there, got clouted into the Argo. But the challenge is on up front now, as Steve Odell finds his way onto the near side of the pace-setting Nicky Jarvis, and it's Steve Odell who wrestles away the lead from Jarvis. So it's Odell, then Jarvis. 71 leads the way from 498 and car number 6. 23 is in fact a back marker. 29 is there in fact in fourth position. And Cecil is continuing to go in 194. He's right there as well. So Sam Holland is still racing, car number 10. Aaron Morris just behind these. And Jamie Morris now begins to fall back a bit and clears the way, in fact, for Sam Holland to come through on the inside of a couple of these cars now. Mark Glenister in 170 is on the outside, but Aaron Morris now begins to make progress on Sam Holland. And Aaron Morris very, very swift into the Bovingdon turn, and Sam has to hang on to a racing straps there. Goodness me, it's all happening amongst these back markers, and it's a retirement from Dean Odell. 171 pulls into the centre green. Billy Woods is already out, I should say, as is the number 8 car of Daniel Damon. Also retirements for 168 and car 2, but the rest go racing by. And now the heat is really on for Steve Odell, who continues to lead the race from the 498 car in second place. Mark Lamass is in fact a back marker, although he's chasing the leader at the moment. And another retirement in the centre green there for Terry Norris in car 76. But 498 it is in second place from Luke Morphy in car 20, George Morphy I should say, in car 29 in third place. Coming through strongly at the moment is the 194 car of Cecil. Remember, he took place in the ramp rollover. A bit of a coming together there with the number 60 car, which allows the 41 machine of Willie Scholes Jr. to get on terms with that 194 car, and it's neck and neck between these two now. But no problems for our race leader, who's done it again. He's got out there, he's safe from all the problems of the other cars. It's just the back markers he's got to worry about now. In this 20-lap race, it's only lap 12 so far, so it could still all happen amongst this race. And 191 and number 10 are still having their ding-dong battle, and 170 wants to take part in that as well. As round goes a couple of these cars, and 170 able to capitalise on that and get towards the front just a tad more. It's Sam Holland who continues on her way. 194 and car 41 still neck and neck between these two as they race on their way. Willie Scholes Jr. My goodness, that was ever. Red, please, Mr. Starter. And that is an immediate red. That was a very, very heavy impact. That was a very, very heavy impact. And 373 then, copping the full. Neil Dunn, hopefully he's okay in the... So we'll pick up where we left off with the 71 car of Steve Odell leading the way. The challenge is on though for second place as George Morphy makes his way through. And a black cross for number 10, please, Mr. Starter. And she's found herself around the wrong way once again in that same spot over there on the exit of the pits bend. And it's 5 next time through, Mr. Starter, for your lead driver, Steve Odell, in the 71 car. Steve Odell then continues on his way in 71. It's Odell who leads the race from George Morphy, car 29, and the 498 machine in third place of Nicky Jarvis. So Jarvis continues on his way. 29 in second place, but Steve Odell is the driver that's really tried to make this race his. He survived the race stoppage and now has a significant number of car lengths between himself and the second place driver of George Morphy in the 29, beautifully built new car. George Morphy is racing in. Steve Odell, though, it is who has the edge for the moment in the 71 car with just 3 laps to go. It's Odell, 71, Morphy, 29, and the 498 machine of Nicky Jarvis in third. Coming through after these in fourth place, it's 43, Mark Lamass. Just behind these, it's the 170 car, and then 46. So they all race as you see them on the raceway, but Steve Odell, if anything now, is beginning to pull out another lead over George Morphy in the 79 machine, in the 29 car. It's Steve Odell it is, with just half a lap to go now, looking to take this Hertfordshire Championship by the roots once again. Here comes Steve Odell, the new 2005 Hertfordshire champion. He's done it again here at Bovingdon. 29 George Morphy in second place, and 43 it is in third. action all the way, as we have an immediate black cross for car 19, please, Mr. Starter. Car 19, a black cross for that one, but the others go racing by, and it's 40 who takes up the early lead for Steve Martin in car 40. But on his inside there's the 160 machine getting a bit sideways as it goes. And a black flag for 19, please. There's a puncture on the car. Oh, I think he already knows. Don't worry, Mr. Starter. I think he's already pulling off. So, no, he isn't. He's come back. He's coming back. He probably doesn't know quite what the problem is. I'm sure by the time he gets to here, he will have worked it out. Okay, it's fraught up at the front though, as 160 and 40 are neck and neck with the 216 car right up behind them, 165 alongside of him as well. Goodness me, it's all happening at the front of this race. 160 it is, who gets his nose in front. Daniel Keeping from 216 now. 216 there in second place. Oh, and they're going all over the place. 64 takes to the inside of the rumble strip, but rejoins the race in third position. But 160 continues to lead the race. Daniel Keeping is right out there, got the nose of that car in front, and it's 64 now who comes through in second place. 64 Scott Locke, who's right there. Is oh, challenging for the lead indeed in that 64 car. Not quite able to make it happen this time, but the 160 car keeps tucking the tail end a little bit too far out, and if he does that very much more, then the 64 car will be right there. Taking the outside run is the 216 machine, but not able to make it pay at the moment as he drops back into third position. Car number 90, the former Hertfordshire champion, is right there. Oh, and a black flag for Ford. Oh dear, as 160 gets the spin around. And a black flag for 40 and a black cross for 64, please, Mr. Starter. So 160 rejoins the race, but half a lap or so down now adrift, as 216 takes up the running, and 216 it is. But look who's on his outside already, and he's made his way right through from the back of the pack. It's David Burton in that number 17 car, who just seems to have that. A black flag for 213, please. A black flag for 213, Mr. Starter, please. The car is believed to have a puncture on the offside front, and indeed it has. So that's unfortunately a disqualification for 213 when he comes through next time. But back at the front, it's fraught with the 216 car just keeping its nose in front of David Burton, who's taken the outside the long way round in car number 17. He's made his way right through the pack, and David Burton is right there in that car 17 and takes to the outside now, and surely sooner or later he's going to wear this war of attrition down on the 216 car, driven by one of the Smith family. But 17 actually frustrated now by the 216 car, who's holding his line very nicely, and David Burton's the man who's got to get round the outside. It will be 5 next time through, Mr. Starter, 5 laps next time for our joint leaders, 216 and 17, who take to the Bovingdon turn right now. It's 5 to go this time through for 216 and car 17. It's a neck-and-neck struggle, and it has been now for the last 3 or 4 laps between 2-6 on the inside run and car 17, David Burton on the outside. The cars are equally matched. Look at them go down the straight through the corners. The 17 car just has the speed through the corner to maintain its position on the outside, and this is neck-and-neck stuff. My goodness, where could you see racing like this? I ask you, 216 and 17, racing it out between them. 17 now looks for the inside run. With just 3 laps to go this time through, it's 216 from 17 as 17 makes his way. And a black cross for that bit of a touch there from the 17 car. 216 though continues on his way. It's going to be 216 hanging on from 17. The rest follow through. Car 90 is currently in third place, and 166 is fourth. It's 2 laps to go for our joint leaders, 216 and 17. 17 up around the outside now. 216 continues on his way in the centre, but 17 does have a black cross situation against him now for a bit of a nudger at the tail end of the 216 machine, but 17 can't quite make it around the outside. He looked for the inside, couldn't find an inside position either, has a bit of a skid there on the pits bend. It's all happening between these two and will be happening as the two go in. Oh, and 17 makes a do-or-die lunge around the outside, but it's not going to happen for him. 216 comes through, takes the flag. It's 17 there in second place, and number 90 makes it home. That's Championship for V8 stock cars is underway. 20 laps of racing then, and once again, as before, it's Terry Coke in the 627 car who makes the early running. 627 leads from 27, but 323 making big inroads at the moment, as is 34 and 72. 238 following through. All the superstars are right there, and the world champion already picking up a pace or two from the back. And it's a retirement, though, for Pete Blomfield in the 42 car. So problems for Blomfield, obviously, as the rest go racing by. And it's Terry Coke now taking a big wide line in 627 with the 27 car. Right there and right on song. Malcolm Burton, through he goes. On the pits bend, it's Terry Coke battling with Malcolm Burton once again. Terry Coke certainly won't settle for second place. If there's anything else he can do about it, and he's making a comeback. Terry Coke then, surely he's going to push Burton wide on the pits bend, but Burton is able to cope with that. Terry Coke, though, is right there and racing with him. This is a head-to-head duel between these two, as out goes the 28 car, and 238 is caught up in that as well. So problems then for Russ Williams and Darren Mitchell down there on the Bovingdon turn, but the rest go racing by as 27 now takes up the running from Terry Coke in 627. 72, Colin Goodswin giving it everything he's got. Blue smoke emerging from the tyres. 34 is right there in fourth place, and in fifth place now it's the world champion, the 31 car of Robert Harris. And surely this is the one in which Robert Harris will excel if anybody can. Still the leadership of the race is the 27 car of Malcolm Burton. But Terry Coke continues to follow through hard in 627. Then flying by goes the 72 car of Colin Goodswin. Then it's Dennis Harris, 34, Robert Harris, 31, and behind these, the 89 machine of Brian Scott. So 27, not opening up any sort of a gap from Terry Coke in 627. Colin Goodswin struggling hard to get on terms with these now in third place as we reach the 9-lap stage of the race. It's Dennis Harris in 34, begins to get the pedal harder and harder to the metal, and Robert Harris, the current world champion, showing his teeth now in 5th position in this race, the one that really counts today, the Formula V8 Stock Car Southern Championship. So Charlie Hodges now being passed and lapped on the inside. The 64 car, it's Goodswin in 72 who's coming through now, getting closer and closer in third. Also the two Harris boys, Dennis Harris in 4th place and Robert Harris in 5th, now beginning to pick up speed and coming on to make this a grandstand finish over the last few laps of this Southern Championship. So 27 begins to smoke that front tyre once again. That's the problem he had in the earlier race. Terry Coke keeping him on Dennis there. Look at the smoke coming off of that front tyre now. There certainly is some smoke there. But Terry Cope now really beginning to give chase, as in Colin Goodswin now really coming on strong in the latter stages of the race. It's 1, 2, 3 and they're all together as the blue smoke begins to pour from the front tyre now of our leading driver Malcolm Burton in the 27 car. It's Burton, it's Cope, it's Goodswin, first, second and third. And it will be 5 laps to go next time through, Mr. Starter. 5 laps to go next time through for your race leader at the moment, which is 27 Malcolm Burton. 72 Gary Goodswin is in third. Terry Coke is second at the moment. Then it's the 2 Harris boys, Dennis Harris and Robert Harris in 4th and 5th positions. So Burton begins to put on the power as he goes past the back markers. 261 gets out of the way. Terry Coke goes through on the inside now as well. Who's it going to be? Gary Goodswin now, right with these, and the 2 Harris boys still just a bit of work to do to get on terms with the front 3 as Robert Harris begins to catch up on Dennis Harris. It's the 3-lap board that goes out to them now in this Southern Championship. 27 still leads the way, Malcolm Burton. Terry Coke hangs on for dear life there in second place. As Goodswin goes in, the ironwork goes in on the tail end of the Terry Coke car now from Colin Goodswin. Is it going to be Goodswin in this second place with just a lap and a half to go? Terry Coke gets it all wrong, gets a 360, Terry Coke, and it's second place at the moment for Colin Goodswin with just a lap to go. 27 Malcolm Burton can see the checkered flag already beginning to loom in his mind's eye. It's Malcolm Burton. Goodness me, that was problems there for Terry Coke, but coming through 27 is going to take the win. Malcolm Burton takes the win. He's the new Southern champion. In second place, it's Colin Goodswin. Third place, Dennis Harris in the 34 car. What a race that was. Hard lines on Terry Coke. And we can go. Ladies and gentlemen, away they go, and an immediate black flag for 618, please, Mr. Starter. 618, black flag for him, but and a black cross for 729. Black flag for 98, and 133 is a clearly, look at him go, he's absolutely flying. 133, he's a clear half a lap up on everybody else. 133, here he comes now past start control. So 133, the leading driver for the moment. And in second place we have the 79 car. 729 currently occupying second place. Right, the black car, Mr. Starter, car 98 must come out, as must the yellow and green car of Fred Kinsella. He's given it up anyway, but 98 must come out because he's running on a very, very flat tyre there. Oh, he's coming out as well. That's it, job done. Okay, so your leading car then, 133, is the car who's leading this one by an absolute mile. A couple of cars go piling in there on the pit pen to a car which was disabled. Tony Bones O'Leary got his Vauxhall Cavalier going reasonably well once again. 729 making his bid for stardom in this, but no doubt about who the leading driver is at the moment. He's going like the proverbial tank. It's 133, out for a good 16 points if he can just keep this up in the ongoing points here at Bovingdon Raceway. 133 spins the 726 car aside on his. Oh, and he's attacked from behind there. And 133 has got his problems. He gets the car rolling once again though, and he's still in the lead. 133 is the current leader as Tony Bones O'Leary gets shunted aside there by Pete Stevens, who may have taken up the lead. I think Pete Stevens has taken the lead now in the blue and purple car 778, but 133 is right there and with him and challenging for this leadership of the race. 133 is second from 778, who leads. I think 135 is in third position at the moment on track. Tony Bones O'Leary got his hands full of another back marker there who's depriving him of points. And 412 is currently in fourth position. That's Howard Swallow, who's not had a bad afternoon at all from the position of his points this afternoon. 729 gets the old heave-ho treatment. Oh, and there's two cars there make a big collision, 729 and 726. Well, I think that's book paid to 726's day. It's 5 laps next time and a black flag for 77, please, Mr. Starter. And it's will be 5 laps for our scrutineer and leading driver at the moment, 778. So 778 got the 5 laps to go signal and a black flag for Tony Bones O'Leary. So we will have to get Tony out of it, Mr. Starr, if we possibly can. That's Tony Bones O'Leary running on a seriously flat tyre. And 412 now, Howard Swallow making his way through, but he's dropped back to fourth position on the raceway now as he tries to put away Kevin Payne and puts himself away instead, or very nearly does anyway. And he's still hanging on in fourth. Oh, and they're all up with the second place driver now, who's been turned sideways. Oh, and that's Kevin Payne's got involved with that. And oh dear, it's all gone wrong, except for Howard Swallow. Howard Swallow then in the 778 car, just a couple of laps to go now in second place. The lead driver, of course, at the moment is the rather crabbing car that's the victim of Pete Stevens is driving, but it's Pete Stevens who still leads this one with a lap and a half to go. 778 leads from 412 in second place. Oh, and 412 is gone. And not many of these cars still running now as we go into the last lap of the race. It's 133 in second place, but our winner, here he comes now, Pete Stevens, takes the flag in the 778 car. And 133 has gone sideways, so through comes 412 in second place. 769 in third, 135 in fourth, 133 in fifth. And we will go red now, please, Mr. Starter. So there we are, it's the final race.